Okay, today is August 25, 2022. This is a meeting of the Kubernetes Storage Special Interest Group. As a reminder, this meeting is public, recorded, and posted on YouTube. So we just wrapped up the 125 release. Big congratulations to the SIG and everyone who worked hard on features that got delivered as part of 125. Today, we will spend some time reviewing those features and seeing what landed, what didn't land, moving the items that didn't land into 126, and adding any new items to 126 that you feel like should be part of 126. So I just copied over the spreadsheet 125 to 126, and we can start going over that. The exact timeline for 126 is still TBD. So the release team is being put together for 126, and the exact schedule will be announced. So I anticipate that this is going to be the last release of the year. So my guess is that this release will be sometime in December or so. Before I continue, any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, feel free to add to the agenda as we go. If you have anything that you want to discuss, we can come back to it after going through the 126 spreadsheet. Okay, so switching back to 126 here, there's going to be two goals. One is for the items that are completed, just getting final status, and then figuring out if we want to move them to 126 or not. And let's get started. So let me add a column here for 825, 22. Okay, so first item here is delegate FS group to CSI drivers instead of kubelet. This was moving to beta. Last status update was CSI spec PR updated. Anything new on this one?
No update. Still, I need to validate if moving alpha to GA breaks anything, and the CSI spec needs to merge first.
Cool, thanks, Aman. And then we have recovering from resize failure end-to-end tests. Anything on that one?
I started working on it. I haven't quite finished it. I plan to use this time like between now and the 126 when starts to finish the test. So that's the status of that one.
Cool, sounds good. Thank you, Haman. And then we have issues related to assuming volumes or mount points. Jing?
No. So I think we're not sure right now. We still have some issue. We still I need to just double check whether because another two related mount points PR already merged, which is speed up the mount and how to check mount point. So for this one, I just need to confirm whether it still has an issue left.
There's one issue left, Jing, that I filed on GitHub recently. Okay. Is that we are not doing volume reconstruction properly because we expect the /mount node publish path to be a mount point. And so that basically any CSI volume is not reconstructed properly if the node is rebooted. As a result, we are leaving files on the node. That also code assumes that the mount point, the /mount will be a mount point, so which may not be true, and you might have to fix that.
Yeah.
I linked the issue in the chat.
Yeah. So I think I think the focus will be related to reconstruction flow to assuming the mount point.
Got it. Okay, so we'll keep this item for 126. And then moving to determine mount points without relying on proc mounts. I understand this has already been completed. So I'll go ahead and remove this if there's no objection. And same thing for storage capacity tracking for pod scheduling. I believe this was successfully moved to GA. Any objection to removing? Okay. Next item is CSI ephemeral volumes, existing API. Moving that to GA. Docs were merged, blog completed. Anything new here or anything remaining?
No, well, so there is one PR I have that's not ready to merge yet to promote the conformance test, but otherwise this feature is done.
Got it. And what was the PR that's remaining, you said?
To promote the conformance test, I paste it in the chat.
Got it. So is this technically a part of 125 RDGA?
Yes.
Got it. So let's do this. We will switch over to 125 for the sake of tracking. Call this done. And on the 126 side, we'll change this to wrap up test work. Switch this to bug fix. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you. Next up, we have local ephemeral storage resource management. And
Yes.
go ahead.
Oh, so the code complete and the doc merged. Right now, the blog is in review.
Okay. So we'll do a similar thing here for this one. Mark that as done. And then we'll change this to blog post. This a bug fix. Okay. Next up is spreading over failure domains. We dropped this last cycle. Do we want to pick it up again this cycle?
I think we need to finish the next one, the voting group first.
Got it. So I'll go ahead and just move this, and then we can reintroduce it when appropriate. And then for volume group, do you still plan to work on this, Shane?
Yes, so I have got some information from other vendors who has implemented this. So I documented that. I'd like to bring this to Alpha in 2026.
Cool. Okay, so we'll move that from design to alpha. And we will change this to enhancement needed. So feel free to throw in the enhancement issue when you get a chance.
Sure.
All right, next item are the CSI out of tree drivers, moving iSCSI driver fit and finish. Anything new on this one? I think this was complete. I'm assuming there's no outstanding work. If anybody disagrees, feel free to speak up. And same thing with the Samba driver. Okay. Go ahead and drop that. Okay, so then we have PVC volume snapshot namespace transfer. This was dropped for the last cycle. Anyone interested in picking this up again for this cycle? Okay. If not, we will go ahead and drop it. Provision volumes from cross namespace snapshot PVC. Anyone interested in picking that one up?
So
Okay.
Xing, it's someone already working on that, right?
Right. So I think his name is Masaki. I think should be here somewhere. Masaki. Yeah, we should check with him. He might still be interested.
Got it. Is the same thing true for the one that we removed, or?
Right, but we only need one of them. So
Got it.
I will say, yeah, we just keep this one. We could add the other one if needed. Because
Okay.
if we go ahead with this provision volume from
Let me just
cross
leave them
namespace,
both,
then
and
we
then
do
we
not
can.
need the transfer one.
Got it. I'll keep them both, and then I'll put a comment here, say, need to Saki stop, and then same thing for this one, and then we can remove one if needed. Okay. Then we have CSI volume health, additional metrics.
Yeah, so we'll try bring this to beta. I'm still working on E2E test, so hopefully we could
Is it
get
going to
that one.
be beta?
Beta, yeah. Right now it's still alpha because we don't have E2E test yet. So if we can get that in before the cap merge, then we can move to beta.
Okay. And Nick Wren's still working on that?
Oh, it's actually the phone's the second name. Run, yeah, Run. She's working on this.
And then we have programmatic response for CSI volume health. Anyone interested in carrying that
Yeah,
forward?
so there is one person yeah, it's actually Nick Run's coworker who might be interested. I just need to confirm. Yeah, I can add his name there.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll keep this. I'll keep it for now. Next up, we have volume populator data source, which was also dropped last cycle. Anyone interested in picking that one up?
So for this one, I also talked to someone who might be interested, but not confirmed yet.
Okay.
This one, I think, so it's already beta, right? So before
It's
we
already
go
beta.
GA, I think the main problem right now is to see if there are more implementation of this.
Got it. So
So I don't know if we're ready yet. So maybe that's something we need to take a look.
okay. So do you want to keep it around and look into that, or just drop it for now?
Maybe we keep it. Let's take a look. We
Okay.
can discuss about that and then decide whether this is ready or not.
Cool. Sounds good. Go ahead and mark that. Next up is object storage API Cozy. So I think is the target beta, or keep it in alpha this cycle and fix bugs?
I'm not sure. I will check with Sid about this.
Okay. So I'm going to mark it as just stay in alpha for now, and
Okay.
we can put a comment. We'll confirm with Sid if keeping alpha or moving to beta.
Because we need to have E2E test before the cap merge deadline, right? So I think that one, I don't think we have that yet. Yeah, okay, I'll talk to him. Yes.
Okay. Then we have
And also this test probably we'll need to have that auto tree So probably we'll have those in those cozy repos.
Got it. Okay. Then we have change block tracking. So change block tracking was dropped for last cycle.
Yeah,
kept
we
it
will
at
try
125.
to. Yeah, we will try to do alpha in 26.
And same folks working on it.
Same people, yes.
Okay. Alpha. Runtime assisted mounting. Deep, any interest in picking that up again?
Hey, yeah, I should be able to work on that and get the cap in a better shape.
Sounds good. I'll go ahead and mark this. And then do you want to target alpha for this
Yeah.
cycle?
Mhm.
And then we have CSI proxy for Windows, transition to privileged containers. Do we have Mauricio or Jing on the line? Mauricio didn't have time last cycle to work on it. Any change to that, and or anyone else interested in picking this up?
So we might have intern to do this, but right now I'm not sure the intern will be available or not.
Got it. Okay, so we'll keep that around for now, Jing, and once we know for sure, we can add or remove it for this cycle. Next up is node expansion secret. Was this able to land?
Yes. So this is alpha.
Okay.
125.
So let
And
me update.
yeah, I will need to check with the Humble, but this already has ET test, so yeah, he may want to try to go beta. Ask him.
It has E2 test.
I thought
Mm.
so. We can double check.
Mm. Okay.
But we'll double check with him. I mean,
Sounds good. So we'll say it's an alpha going to beta. Need to double check if there are E2E tests. Submitting it. Okay. Then we have SE Linux relabeling using mount options.
So this is probably going to stay alpha because we miss end-to-end test and volume reconstruction. And I need to check if I'm actually available this quarter. So I will confirm next time if I can work on it.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Jan. So we'll keep this in alpha. Change this to E2E tests. Okay. Next up is CSI migration core. So I think we probably are going to have items here. And you want to wear?
that's already GA, right?
Yeah, but I anticipate
so
as
not
we
sure if there's any.
get usage, we're going to start seeing bugs.
Oh, okay.
So let's keep it opportunistically. And
Okay.
if there's nothing, we'll just remove it. And for the move to core GA, mark that as done. Okay. And I assume there's nothing else left for moving core to GA. So I'll go ahead and remove it from the 126 side. And then vSphere, did that end up?
Yeah, that made it. So it's on by default now.
Okay.
We'll try to move it to GA.
Okay, so vSphere on by default was completed. And then we'll try to move it to GA this cycle. So change that.
Zinc, one of the things that I asked in the chat, and I'm still a little bit confused, is like, are we going to support like older version? We said that, okay, entry drive volume doesn't support older version than 7.0 U2, but are we going to like, but if you're
I think
using
the-
like, oh,
I think the I forgot. I don't know. I asked too young about this one. I think it's when the older version go out of support, it's like a VM, you know, it's like the VMware announcement, right? Then the CSI driver cannot support that anymore, something like that. But I forgot. We need to update the document for the CSI driver as well.
so you can actually use like 125 if you don't want to use. You can use.
But we have
install.
not. Well, we still need to qualify with 1.25, right? We normally qualify that after the release, right? So it's going to be about the same time, like September, October, that time. Then we will, after finish qualifying, and then we'll say we drop that because it's out of end of life or out of support or something.
Yeah, so the wording to me looks a little bit confusing. It sounds like,
Yeah, I agree, but it's just, I mean, the entry thing, I'll see it. It's confusing.
we should make a clean break. If you're not going to support older versions of vSphere anymore, we should try.
Right, but it's only thing is is it the right thing to do that in the entry release note, right? Because we are releasing this CSI drivers out of tree, so it's a little. Yeah, we can sort that off offline. I thought I replied to you. Did I?
But
thought I replied something.
it's not. I saw it's not clear to me.
Yeah,
I think
not very
maybe
clear. But I think my understanding is we will qualify with 1.25, and then after that, we'll update the document saying, you know, this older versions end of support.
Yeah.
At that time, that's around the same time in October, when it's officially end of support. Because right now we can't say end of support yet because it's still there, which means correct. If you use it now, you can still use it now. But we didn't say we can support 1.25 yet, right? Because we have not finished qualifying. That's it.
Yeah, I'm thinking like as a like, okay, let's talk this offline.
Okay.
So that we don't disrupt this.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, cool. Thank you. Then moving on, Azure GA was dropped last cycle. Actually was code complete and let's see here. Does anyone remember the status of these two? It looks like this one was completed and the second one didn't make it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That depends on the first item in the spreadsheet.
Got it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this one since it was already GA'd. And for the second one, we'll keep it. And I'll add a comment. That's on. Okay. And this is currently in beta and just going to be on by default.
I thought it's already on by default. Thought we were trying to
For Azure
move
file?
that to
Okay, so then it
Azure
would.
file. I thought we were trying to move that to GA,
GA,
right? So
got
it's
it,
going to
okay.
be, yeah.
Yeah, GA.
Sounds good. Then GCE GA, I believe, was already completed. Any objection?
Yep,
Cool.
that's all done.
All right, so mark that as done. Any follow-up needed there?
Oh, we also need to remove the in-tree driver, right? So should we still keep them here?
That's a good point. I think we can convert these, so we'll say remove GCE driver.
Following OpenStack case, we gave one release
I
to
see.
before, but I don't know if if it is GA, the feature cannot be turned off. But yeah,
I think that
got
makes
busy.
sense. So let's give it one more
Hold on,
release
hold
then.
on, hold on.
Any objections?
Yeah,
Oh,
we need to
that's-
keep the in-tree driver for 2 releases because attach detach controller must be able to detach volumes from kubelets, old kubelets, and kubelets can be 2 versions older. So we still need to keep that code for 2 releases after migration GA.
Okay.
So we could remove Azure Disk in 126. But we can't remove GCE or AWS.
Got it. Okay, so let me add Azure Disk. Okay, so I assume this is going to be picked up by Andy. Remove entry Azure Disk driver, and then I'll leave Azure file to move to GA, and then AWS Windows support to GA. Anything new here? Was this able to land? Looks like it was.
Yeah, it is GA now, so we'll
Okay.
wait for 2 releases and then remove the in-tree.
So I'll just go ahead and remove it from the 126 side. And then anything going on with OpenStack Cinder? I guess this was completed.
Yeah, it's already deleted. Driver is also removed, so this should be done.
Okay. Then we have Ceph RBD and Ceph FS.
I
both
assume
moved
Humble
to
still
120.
want to, yeah, I still want to.
Okay. So we'll keep these around. And then the Portworx one was completed.
Assume they want to turn that on by default, so we can check with Oksana on this.
Okay. And then, so let's change this to beta and on by default. Okay. So then finally we have Gluster FS entry deprecation. It was deprecated in 125. So I think the next step here is to remove Gluster FS for 126. Okay. It's going to be bug fix. Next up is always honor reclaim policy end-to-end test. For the last cycle, I don't
Yeah,
believe we're able to finish this.
unfortunately, we don't have E2 test yet, but I think we'll try between now and the cap. I'm not sure when will be the cap merge deadline, but we'll try and see if we
Okay.
can get E2 test there. If we can get in, then we could target beta, but otherwise it'll just still be E2 test.
So let's keep it as alpha for now. And then if we
Okay.
get the E2E tests in, we can change that. Okay, sounds good. Next up is controller volume mode conversion between source and target PVCs, also adding E2E tests.
Yeah, so test is a work in progress.
Okay.
So yeah, tentatively want to target beta.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and move that. Next up is secret protection, prevent deletion while in use, depends on in-use protection kept below. So I think we'll keep that and confirm with Masaki he's still interested in working on it. And then the in-use protection, same story. Okay. And user ID ownership and config maps and secrets was dropped last cycle. We need an owner for this. Anyone interested in picking this up? Preserve default file mode bit, set in atomic writer volumes. If not, I'll go ahead and remove it and we can reintroduce it if someone is interested.
This may be required for the user namespace implementation, because that's, I don't know if they're they're planning to pick it up, but it's they actually tried to do this in user namespace PR, but we asked them to drop it because we can't have just for user namespace enhancement also cannot make this big change. So, but I don't know if they're planning to move that feature to beta or something. They might want to come back to this because they sort of they don't want to depend only on FS group for ownership.
Got it. Do you know who the folks are working on that?
It's SIG node.
Got it. Okay, so let's keep it around and see if there's any traction on it this cycle.
Yeah, I can point them to this, I think, and then yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Next is non-graceful node shutdown.
Yeah, so we
this
got
would-
a E2 test merge.
Okay.
So we'll target beta.
Okay. Then we have enable user namespaces in kubelet, so UIDs get shifted rootless mode. Anyone interested in picking that up again?
That's the one that's different, but yeah,
What do you-
so a version of this PR was merged in 125 actually, and the user namespace implementation as alpha feature. So the GIDs are being sifted right now actually in Kubernetes. If you have this feature enabled, it only works for certain volume types, ephemeral volume types, secret, empty, and all. It doesn't work for persistent volume types, but yeah. And SIG storage was asked to review it. So I will link the latest one, I think, on this one.
Got it.
Latest enhancement and PR. There's a new one.
So let me update this on 125 side. And for 126, do we want to keep it around?
I don't know if in 126 they want to move it to beta or not.
Got
Like,
it.
I don't know that.
I need to check this. Okay. I will keep it around for now until we can get confirmation and mark it as beta. And then for 125, we can actually mark this as done. Okay, thanks, Amanth. Next is SIG apps, address issue or PVCs created by stateful set will not be auto-deleted. It was not merged. Plan was to move it to 126. We'll keep it in 126. Matt, are you still planning to work on this?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, cool. So we'll keep this here. Next up is volume expansion for stateful set. Any updates on this one? There was a kept PR out awaiting review. I assume it'll stay in design this cycle.
Yeah, there was another person who was trying to drive it, and we are talking in Slack. It's mostly on us reviewers, like there's a there's a proof of concept PR that's been open before the enhancement, and I want to use this time to review it. I haven't had chance to take a look at it, close look, and I'll try to follow up, and then it will require a new enhancement because the old enhancement, like not the new enhancement issue, but enhancement design, because the old one is kind of abandoned. So
Oh, but Haman, I thought this new person proposed the new one, right? He proposed a new cap.
he proposed a work in progress PR. Did he propose a enhancement
I thought
also?
I thought he also did a cap. Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the one. Is this the ARE? Wait, this person ARELLER.
I don't know.
Shalini, it's not the same as the Shalini's.
I know. Yeah.
He proposed
but-
another one. He proposed another cap based on the previous one.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay. So is that the lung 3412? I'm just trying to see if that's the one.
oh,
that
I don't know. I need to. We may.
Oh yeah, that's the one that's linked here.
Oh, okay.
So okay, perfect. Okay. So we just need to review this in this quarter and make sure that it meets. So that's the goal.
Okay. So we'll keep that in design for this cycle. Next up is execution hook for application snapshot. This was dropped last cycle.
Yeah, no update on this one.
So let's keep it crossed or just remove it unless we hear otherwise.
Yeah, you can remove it for now, maybe, because yeah, we'll get to this one.
And then SIG
likely.
scheduling, prioritizing on volume capacity. So last status here was we needed an owner. Anyone interested in picking this up? Okay, we'll go ahead and remove it for now. And then if someone wants to pick it up, we can reintroduce it. Then we have better default storage class was targeting alpha last cycle. Code was merged, doc was ready for review, blog pending. Does anyone remember the final status on that one?
The block is merged.
I don't
Well,
think there's
sorry,
blog.
there is no block. There is no block, but everything was merged. Everything was merged.
No block, docs merged.
Yep. And we could probably try beta, but again, I will confirm next time.
Okay. So let me update the status for 125. Mark that as done. And for 126, we will say beta, and then I'll add a comment that says we'll consider moving to beta this cycle. And if that changes, we can go ahead and remove it. Thank you, Jan. Next, we have handle per volume CSI driver capabilities. So this was awaiting volunteers last cycle. Anyone want to pick this up? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove it for now, and if anybody picks it up, we'll re-add it. With that, is there any other items folks were hoping to add to the 126 release? Okay, so I think with that, we can consider our 126 planning complete. If you end up with any additional items before next time, feel free to reach out to me or Xing or Michelle or Jan, and we can help get them added here. Any other items to discuss? Anything on anyone's mind? Okay, if there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and give you about 10 minutes back in your day. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.